You made a small choice today, something so ordinary you barely noticed it. You picked up your phone instead of starting that task. You said tomorrow instead of now. It felt like nothing. It always does. But that one small choice was not just a choice. It was a vote. A vote for the kind of person you are becoming. And the terrifying truth is, you have been casting that same vote for months, maybe years, without realizing it. This is the habit that is quietly destroying your future. Not laziness, not bad luck, not lack of talent. It is the habit of choosing the easier version of yourself every single time it matters. Psychologist William James said that by the time a person reaches 30, their character has set like plaster. Not because they cannot change, but because their daily choices have hardened into automatic patterns so deep that breaking them feels almost impossible. Your micro decisions, the ones that feel meaningless, are building the walls of your future self. Every time you choose distraction over focus, you are not just wasting an hour. You are training your brain to run from difficulty. And your brain is very good at learning. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman has explained how repetition physically rewires the brain. Each time you repeat a behavior, that neural pathway becomes faster, more automatic. Scientists call this myelination. The brain wraps insulation around pathways you use often, making them quicker to fire. So when you repeatedly choose the easier path, your brain does not just let you do it. It starts to prefer it. What began as a choice becomes a craving. What began as a habit becomes your identity. Here is where it gets worse. The habit of choosing comfort does not stay in one area. It spreads. If you cannot make yourself sit with discomfort for 5 minutes on a Tuesday morning, you will not suddenly find the strength to make the hardest decision of your life when it actually counts. Aristotle said it over 2,000 years ago. We are what we repeatedly do. He was not talking about rare moments of greatness. He was talking about Tuesday morning. That tiny gap between wanting to do something and actually doing it, that is where your future is being built or quietly destroyed. So let us name the habit clearly. It is avoidance. Choosing relief over responsibility. Choosing distraction over discomfort. It shows up in disguises. Scrolling instead of working. One more episode instead of sleeping. Staying silent when you know you need to speak. You are not avoiding the task. You are avoiding the feeling that comes with the task. The uncertainty. The possibility of failure. The discomfort of doing something hard before you feel ready. Psychologist Susan David found that most self-destructive patterns begin not with weakness, but with emotional avoidance. People do not sabotage their lives because they are incapable. They do it because they have never learned to sit with difficult emotions long enough to act through them. And every time you obey that signal to retreat, the signal gets louder. The habit gets stronger. But here is what most people miss entirely. The habit of avoidance does not just cost you productivity. It costs you your self-image. Every time you choose the easier version of yourself, you send yourself a quiet message. I am not the kind of person who does hard things. I cannot be trusted even by myself. That message layers. It becomes the story you tell about yourself. And once that story is in place, your brain will do almost anything to stay consistent with it. If the story says you give up, you will find 1,000 reasons to give up. So how do you break it? Not with willpower. Willpower depletes. The break happens at the level of identity. James Clear, who has studied behavior change deeply, argues that the most powerful shift is not changing what you do. It is changing who you believe you are. Instead of, I am trying to be more disciplined, you say, I am someone who does not run from hard things. Then you cast one small vote for that identity. Today, not tomorrow. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You just need to make one choice, right now, that the person you want to be would make. Sit with the discomfort for 5 minutes. Start before you feel ready. Say what needs to be said. One vote, that is all. Because the person you become is never decided in the big dramatic moments. It is decided in the quiet, ordinary moments when nothing feels important and no one is watching. You made a small choice today. It felt like nothing. Now you know it was never nothing. It was always a vote. The only question is whether tomorrow's vote will be different. You already know what you need to do.